Hi everybody, this is my takeaway for discussion number 5, and I think that really the part of discussion about Locke from our group that caught my attention was the discussion that came up about education. And Dr. Tompkins posed a really interesting question about whether Locke would approve of the state of our current education system. And I really kind of focused in here on our education here in the United States. I don't really know a lot about systems elsewhere, but I do know quite a bit about here. I grew up as the daughter of a teacher, and I'm a teacher myself. So the things that immediately came to my mind and that were kind of reverberated by my group members were the fact that outdoor time and art and music are kind of getting cut down, and that standardized testing and homework really has kind of become a big part of school, and that we don't really feel that Locke would have approved of this method of learning. But I think the part that I really hadn't thought about that Carrie brought up was that while public education is available for everyone, it's far from equal. And the quality of the education that you are going to get is really dependent on the money that your parents can spend, the place that you're born, how far you can afford to travel to go to school each day, all of those things. And so we really can't consider it equal, even though it is technically available for everyone. And I don't think Locke would have been very happy with that. I think he would have wanted education to be more standardized and more equal across the board. Another part of the conversation that kind of caught my mind is that we were kind of going back and forth about whether or not his assumption that the mind is a blank slate at birth or a white piece of paper is even plausible. And I saw my classmates kind of coming up with ideas and thoughts on things that maybe could be considered innate knowledge, things that we have from birth. Danielle brought up things like the baby knowing the mom's smell or the instinct to feed. But when I think about those things, I don't necessarily consider them knowledge. I think I consider them more instinct. And so I guess I would argue that that's kind of the white paper itself. Those innate capabilities that Locke even acknowledged, that we have these latent capabilities, are there. That's the white paper itself. That's the foundation. But then it takes sensory input and experience to actually write on that paper and create knowledge. So in the case of the baby, that's the baby having skin-to-skin contact and actually doing the behavior of feeding from the mom's breast. Like, that's what creates that actual knowledge, not the instinct to do that itself. Because if that's not harbored and not backed up by sensory knowledge, they don't do it. Children don't do it. So that's something that kind of really grabbed my mind and really kind of solidified in my mind that Locke's assumption that we have a blank slate at birth is pretty accurate, and the sensory and experience knowledge that we are presented with from such a young age has a very, very profound effect on who we become as adults. So thank you guys for another great conversation. I really am enjoying how we are relating these things to current state of things, and I really appreciate it, and look forward to talking to you all again this week.